3 years ago, after coaching in college for 27 years, I decided that I was going to move into the area of leadership development and culture development, working with athletic teams in corporations. My experience over my 27 years as a college coach led me in this direction. Oftentimes I used outside organizations and companies to help me develop as a coach, to help my players develop, and to help my assistants. And I often found it to be both unsustainable and unfulfilling. And I reached out and asked J.C. Glick to be my partner in this endeavor on the leadership and culture side. And I think we've developed a really unique approach to leadership and culture in a holistic way. I think what we do is more transformational than transactional, right?
I think so, and I think you and I are both familiar with people that come from a military background or a special operations background, and they come to teams to give them that special operations experience, which doesn't give them a special operations mindset. And what's special about special operations mindset is how we develop that mindset. And that mindset's not developed by lifting logs or walking hundreds of miles, or that mindset is developed over time in the skills that we do as soldiers and warriors. Those skills that athletes do, whether they're on the lacrosse field or the football field or the field hockey field, or even on the track, we have to build that mindset into those athletes in their environment, not in our environment. So you can't superimpose a special operations environment on a team, because it's not sustainable. At most, it's a motivation. And I think, as we try to be transformational, not transactional, I think we try to be inspirational and not motivational.
Right. Well, I think what's really unique about our approach is the fact that we, compared to a lot of other people in this space, we actually have experience in developing and building cultures and leading people, albeit in different arenas. But we have both led and have practical experience, and probably me more so than you, because you weren't allowed to make as many mistakes in your world. But we also had the opportunity to learn from our mistakes and development. And very much as you were when you started out, I was a head coach when I was 26 years old, without a script or a template as to how to do that. So a lot of learning on the job for me. But I think those types of experiences really help us in the people that we partner with to work a little bit better in a way that we understand and can empathize with their situation and their challenges.
Well, I think what's unique is, so between the two of us, we have over 50 years of leadership experience. Plus, we understand some of the, not just the theory, but how to apply that theory in real situations. But I think the other piece that's really different is, I think a lot of organizations either give you an experience or tell you how to do something. And I think what's really unique is, because when we were leaders, we never wanted anybody to tell us how to do things. I think what we best try to do is we try to facilitate someone else's thinking on their leadership. We provide that directed telescope of whether it's your culture, whether it's how you're building resiliency in your team, whether it's how you're leading your team, all those factors. And we provide that directed telescope to the leader so that they can focus on the X's and O's and leading the team in that way. And we help facilitate their growth in kind of the intangible ways.
And I know you'll agree with this, is when we come into a team, every team's challenges are unique and different. So we don't come in claiming to know or understand what their challenges are before we step on site. And I think, again, that that contributes to the uniqueness, and what separates us from a lot of our competition is that we do not go in with a template and push our clients and our partners in one direction. And then I think the second part, which I know that this really separates us, is the fact that after we do our initial programming exercises with these clients and partners, we stay with them. we're there for the, for the duration to help make operational, whether it's a culture or leadership initiatives.
Yeah, and I think, that's important, and we talked about at the very beginning of this that we were going to be a more boutique industry. We weren't going to serve everyone, but those clients that we did work with, those people that we did partner with, we were going to become part of their organization. And I think we've done a really good job of being able to embed with those organizations and facilitate their growth from the inside, not as an outside consultant, but as someone who truly cares about them. And now with many of our teams, we're going on the third year. So it wasn't, and we're solving not the same problem, but the new challenges that come up, the new players that come up, and we're helping them, sustain themselves. So eventually we'll just get to be part of the family, but maybe not that client relationship, but helping to build that from the inside.
Right. I think the most rewarding part of this is the evolution piece, right? Helping organizations and teams and coaches, to truly evolve. And even better than I, when you're sitting at the top of that team or the top of that organization and you're the leader, it's probably the loneliest part and place to be in an organization.
Yeah, I knew that when I was in leadership positions, it was very difficult to find somebody who wasn't kind of in direct conflict with your leadership, not necessarily disagreeing with it, but a reason that maybe I couldn't share something. So having that outside person who was still somebody that I could talk to was important to me.